What are we talking about today? Dad's Army. One of the best sitcoms ever made. Hasn't aged really a day. It's still watchable and funny today as it ever has been. I've got some models to show you and also a few thoughts on the proposed new film. First, I think I'll take this helmet off, and you have to admire not only the home guard that wore this equipment, but the actors from Dad's Army, who most were in sort of 60s to 80s. These are heavy things. So I think we'll just wear the forage cap. And I use Captain Mainwaring's own way of doing it. So what you do is you place it sort of straight on the head, and you use your finger up the nose, up the outside of the nose, and you feel the buttons. So you know it's centre, and you just place it just like that. Dad's Army. Everyone loves it. If you don't love it, you're an idiot. Well, no, you might not like it. It's one of those shows that I've shown it to our kids. They love it. I grew up loving it. It's provided so many catchphrases that everyone knows, even if they have never seen the show. Everyone knows "stupid boy," "don't panic." Do you think that's wise? These are catchphrases that have gone down in British life. It's much more than just a 1970s comedy show. Can you imagine them showing something like "Love Thy Neighbour" or "On the Buses" now and getting regularly 8-9 million viewers? It's unimaginable that a show is shown like that regularly on primetime BBC. It captured something, I think. The cast is renowned for being just an amazing ensemble cast. And if you watch some of the early episodes, you can see that it wasn't Captain Mainwaring, Sergeant Wilson, Corporal Jones show. It involved all of them. It did, towards the end, it started to rely on its own sort of history too much. But up until probably the last two series, it was groundbreaking. It was amazing. It's so funny. Not only did they do, I think, 9 series plus Christmas specials, they did 78 odd episodes of a radio show, which, if you can get hold of it, it's well worth getting hold of. It is so funny. It's as funny as the TV show. It's a radio show with so much effort put into it. The TV shows are all available on DVD now. Hopefully they'll be available on Blu-ray. They're just funny shows. Someone said that the best comedy involves struggle, people feeling trapped. And when you think about it, some of the best comedies we have, Red Dwarf is about people trapped on a spaceship. Steptoe & Son, about being trapped by your own circumstances. Dad's Army was about people trapped by their own bodies, which is really the ultimate being trapped. These were people that know their age, they know their limitations, but are not willing to give in to them. And it is true that in the real world, at that point, really the Home Guard were, Corporal Jones was the only person standing for us in concentration camps. It's that sort of a thought behind it, and that it's so funny is just amazing. They are doing a big budget remake. It might already be out by the time you watch this. The cast looks amazing, don't get me wrong, and my initial reaction on seeing this was don't even try. You can't catch lightning twice. But then I started to think about it, and you read, and this may have, again, all have changed by the time you listen to this. You read what the story is going to be, and I don't think they've quite grasped what Dad's Army is about. At the moment, it looks like it's going to be a story where the Wilmington-on-Sea Home Guard platoon are chasing down a German spy. And I think that the whole essence of the comedy from Dad's Army, other than one or two very notable exceptions was that they never met the enemy. They could see the effects every day through bombing, that sort of thing, but it was more about the everyday tasks that they had to face, the everyday concerns. And I think that's what made it funny, that these people really thought they were on the front line, especially Captain Manorim. His pomposity was that he thought he was on the front line, but in reality, like I say, other than one or two very noticeable exceptions, they never met any Germans. So I'm not sure that this new storyline is going to work. They're introducing a new female lead, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones, and now there were obviously females in the show. You had Mrs. Fox, Mrs. Pike, Godfrey's sisters. So that's not necessarily something that doesn't fit with the history of the show, but it's just uneasy. Everything they're saying about it, I can't see it working. If they try to slavishly mirror the actors, which it looks like they're going for because they've cast people that you can see playing these parts, I think it's just it's not going to compare. And if they do something totally different, it's not going to be Dad's Army. It's almost to the point, why have they bothered? But anyway, that's enough about the new. Let's celebrate the old. I've got some kits here to show you. The first one is one that I made myself quite a few years ago, and it was an old Superman figure made by Mego, and then covered in Daz Pronto, which is a self-drying clay. And I think I did not a bad job. It's some of my early efforts. It's actually survived, which is amazing. That's Captain Manorim. And then I sent off a long time ago for some unlicensed figures. You've got Captain Manorim, Sergeant Wilson, Jones, Walker, much underrated character, Pike, Godfrey, and Fraser. And they were really nice. And then when I did the AMAR Models range of figures, I thought I fancy doing some Dad's Army ones, and I tried to do them slightly differently and tried to make them a little bit more like the characters. And so these were the figures. I'm not sure if you can focus on it. So you got Captain Manorim. Sergeant Wilson fell off when I did him. I sold these as little kits, and they paint up quite nicely. And then there was a Corporal Jones, Lance Corporal Jones. I think that would be the hard character to get right. In fact, I think they all will be trying to get them right in the new version. So my advice would be, if it's good, I'll hold up my hands and say, well done. I don't think it will be good. But watch the old ones, give it a go. There's some classic episodes. There's still a few missing from the BBC archives, but what's out there represents an amazing body of work. You look at similar shows, the nearest show I can think of in sort of feel to it is It Ain't Half Hot Mum, which would never be shown now because it would be deemed racist. But if you do watch it, if you occasionally, I think they show on UK Gold, that sort of thing, you look at it and it's not aged well. It's not aged well at all. Dad's Army looks like it was made yesterday. The comedy is that good. It did descend into catchphrase comedy. Corporal Jones's "Don't panic" will send you into spasms the amount of times they use it in later shows. But the early, up to about series 5-6, about when Walker, the actor that was playing Walker, died, and it never really recovered after that, which shows how well the team had been chosen to go together. They introduced various different characters to replace Walker. It couldn't be done, so in the end they just wrote that character out. Now, in the radio show, obviously, where they could recast it, they did recast Walker twice, and it still didn't quite work. It wasn't bad, but it didn't quite work. They weren't as good as James Beck, who was an amazing actor, much underrated. But it's worth searching these things out. You think of it as heritage, but they are still funny. I'll still pop A Dad's Army on and laugh at the joke, even though I know them to death, because it's so well done. Arthur Lowe and Jean Lemessurier, their comic timing was superb. Like I say, I don't think it's wrong to say it's probably the best sitcom ever. So go and watch it, enjoy yourself, have a laugh, and above all, don't panic. Bye.